Herzlich willkommen zu unserer Veranstaltung. Ich freue mich wirklich, dass so viele Leute gekommen sind. Mein Name ist Karl Dasch, ich bin der Eigentümer von FinAPU. Es ist für mich wirklich eine große Ehre, meine Zusammenarbeit mit S&P hier zu verkünden. Und jetzt in diesem Sinne möchte ich gleich auf Daniel Wallis, den Sprecher von S&P, übergeben.
Thank you very much, Carl, and welcome everyone. So appreciate seeing so many faces here this morning. And we're going to move on to just a little bit about who S&P Global Market Intelligence are and what we're doing here. We've been talking to Carl for a little while about how our businesses can coexist and work together. So we're here today to take a little look at what we do and how we do it. So S&P Global, I'm sure you're all familiar with as a global credit rating agency. Which we're obviously very well known for. But within that S&P Global umbrella, you'll find a few different divisions. So I represent market intelligence, but we also have people in the Dow Jones Indices business, which you'll recognize familiar brands like the S&P 500. You'll see our commodity insights business, also previously known as Platts, which is oil and gas focused. And you'll also know, of course, S&P Global Ratings, who are the credit rating agency themselves. So within MI, we actually classify ourselves as the data and analytics arm. And the key is to provide differentiated content via a flexible, open distribution platform and a big focus on customer service at the heart of what we do. What do I mean by differentiated content? So particularly for this audience, S&P Global Market Intelligence acquired a financial institutions business, S&L Financial, back in 2016. So we're here to talk a little bit about that FIG data and why it's different and how we deliver it. Open distribution in the modern world where we work. How do you want it? Where do you want it? And how would you like it presented to be seen? So we'll go through a few options like that. And then why do this? And one of the reasons S&L Financial was acquired by S&P Global, it's simple. There wasn't a lot of alternatives in the market. We thought we could do better, and we thought we could offer a superior customer experience based on what we do. So a little bit about the data services that we provide. So at the heart of everything is financial data, fundamental data. So collecting bank data is a difficult challenge. It looks different to the average corporate. Same with insurers, as you will all know. So providing accuracy and transparency around that data, tracing it back to the source documentation, and providing our customers with clear line of sight into where that came from and how it was calculated, if there is any calculation involved, is really important to us. But also, we recognize that credit risk is constantly evolving, and actually connecting all these different types of data together moving forward is going to be increasingly important. So today, we don't just talk about financial data, we're talking about ESG, environmental data, carbon data, governance. We're looking at the overlay of our credit research that comes out of S&P Global Ratings. We also rely heavily on news and ancillary information that comes out of our news and research businesses. And then, pending the recent merger with IHS Markit, country risk. So IHS Markit have, I think, world-class macroeconomic research, PMI data. So packaging all this together is at the core of the strategy as the business looks to make acquisitions and provide a differentiated group of content. It's connecting all that data together. So we work with third parties. We collect a lot of the data ourselves, and then we have to design modern workflow tools in order to ensure that we get it in front of our customers in the way that they would like to see it. Now, no conversation would be complete right now without mentioning AI. And being able to surface information is critical. There's a lot of it out there. How can I get it as quickly as possible is really what our customers want to hear. So then overlaying all that information with intelligent search, screening in order to help people pull up what they need when they need it as quickly as possible is a big part of the challenge for us. So I spoke at the beginning a little about customer service and customer satisfaction. And we're very proud of this. Like 98% is across our global business, our global platforms business. So we have people accessing corporate data, financial institutions data, ratings and research. And we still score very highly when we survey our customers for a 98% rating. And actually, as we go into some of those deeper, more niche data sets, the numbers are a little bit higher. And one of the reasons for this, at the heart of what we did with customer service, is we actually said, if you're a banking analyst and you call our number and press number 1, you're going to get through to a banking analyst, someone who's trained in understanding the numbers, how the ratios are calculated, why one accounting standard would look different to another, what adjustments were made in order to standardize to an IFRS principle, and why you would expect to see a number in the database or not. So some of the disclosure rules and other items that are available. The team are constantly available, round the clock. We're a global business. We have major centers all over the world. So if you want to talk about banks in APAC, you can connect with someone who looks at banks in APAC every single day. And the same with the US. And I think the US is a challenge to a lot of people with the gap accounting and the slightly different presentation of the financials. $50. This is always the fun bit. So I think I can see a couple of smiley faces who have probably claimed a couple of $50 rewards in the past. This has been at the heart of what we've done for the last 10 years. And when we talk about data quality or error rewards, we talk about it under two guises. Timeliness of data. So when a bank publishes, we expect our analysts to ensure that is in front of our customers within 5 days. If the bank files in a non-English language, we expect 7 days. And if it's in a or a different alphabet, then we expect 10 days. So we will translate all the original documents and present them in an English PDF, as well as a kind of standardized template that people can access. So timeliness is a big one. If we're late, we'll pay you. Secondly, if we're wrong, we'll pay you. And it's a really important principle of how the business has been built. So all those data analysts who are responsible for calculating, I'll give an example here, cost to income ratios. It's a pretty simple ratio. Is there a one-off item in there? Well, we have to spot that. We have to make sure that those one-off items are removed to include a fair comparison, apples to apples, across the business. If you find it or we miss something, we pay. And our CEO, the CEO that set up the SNL Financial Business, once said, it's the best check we write all year because it makes our customers tell us what we're getting wrong. We can find systemic errors, and we can also compensate our people for doing a really great job when the error reward is low, and hurt them when the error reward is a little bit higher, right in the back pocket. So this $50 error reward has been around for a very long time, and it's been a very successful part of our strategy in delivering really world-class content on the banking sector. So a big part of what we've done. So I touched on this a little bit. I think we've all adapted and adjusted post-pandemic to working a little bit differently. And as such, we've had to adapt and adjust some of our priorities in how we deliver product to people. We now no longer know that people are not in the office 5 days a week in many cases. People work remotely from home, on the mobile, iPads. You know, the technology has moved on. So we are trying to deliver this data in a few key ways. So on the terminal, which is an internet username password, as you'll all be familiar with, so that you can search and screen for companies and names that you want to check. We've also had to integrate with Excel being the main one, ensuring that that data can be just as easily surfaced via a template. And we have the off-the-shelf. We also take a customer's credit review memos and make our data appear in those as well. And then mobile, whether you're preparing for a meeting, as I was sat in the lobby of an Austrian bank yesterday, or you just want to get a feed of the news on the portfolio that you are responsible for and are monitoring, then all this can be customized and tailored. And then in the cloud computing age, and I'm no cloud expert, I'm sure one of my colleagues this afternoon will talk more about the cloud infrastructure, but we have had to make sure we can deliver through all these new companies arriving on the scene. You'll have heard of the Snowflakes, Databricks, all these companies that can take our data in code and put it right into the heart of the ecosystem of the banks. So that's another really, really important part of how we deliver. Now, if you ask me anything about how we do it, technically, I wouldn't have a clue. But again, part of that customer service is about connecting the right technical folks together in order to ensure we do a good job there. So, quick example. I mean, this is just a really standard Excel template. Pop in the company name. How many years of data would you like to see? What line items would you like to look at? And then you press refresh when it's online, and it pulls all the data through. And the way that we work with our customer base is we say to you, what would you like to see here? This one or this one, and not this one. We build it, we make it look nice, and then you'll never have to do any copy and pasting ever again. It's a quick refresh in order to change the country or the name of the bank and pull that data through. And each of these cells is all connected to an audit button. So you, again, trace, verify. I want to look at that data point. I want to see where it appeared in the annual report, how it was accounted for, and really understand what I'm looking at here. That's a little bit about how we deliver the data, how we present. I'm going to finish off on a quick slide. 170,000 quality checks every single day. Right, we are dealing with an enormous amount of content here. We have a massive team who are doing this both manually and in an automated fashion. So there is no doubt AI has helped in how we screen, check, and verify some of that data. However, there is no substitute for the human being able to look at the data, understand that it's being done correctly, and click that button in order to publish. Now, we would rather take an extra day and get the data right than do it quickly and get the data wrong, and hence the $50 reward. So just as a final point, we've obviously been talking with Carl for some time. We think it's a great combination of product and data. And I think that's when you start to see good efficiencies. And one thing I think we both agree on is that the output can only ever be as good as the input that's going in. So if you're putting in something that isn't quite right, not up to date, somewhat missing in places, or you have to review and backfill and input, then it's never going to be as good. And we have really tried to close that gap and set a different standard in the market. So we're really pleased to be talking with FinAPU and putting on the table another option for people to review and choose when looking at a source of financial institutions' FIG data with, albeit a very large company in S&P, but a division within that care only about that content set, with that deep sector knowledge that I think is required in order to make a difference here. So I'm going to pause there. So if anyone wants to see a few examples, I think the big news this week was Credit Suisse filed, and I think we all wanted to see what Credit Suisse had reported, and certainly the FT made a big deal of it. But that quarterly data already in the platform. checked, verified, tested. I made sure of that this morning before saying this on stage, of course. But it's a great time to be looking at your data sources. Filing season is absolutely a great time. And it doesn't matter whether it's a public bank, a private bank, the same transparency and guarantees apply. So it could be the 43rd largest bank in the country or the largest. Same rigor, same approach. And in fact, I think it's probably easier to find the Credit Suisse results than it is the 45th largest bank in Austria who file annually, and you have to dig those out a little bit. Thank you very much.